Yeah, you should not be rolling a something. You get me in trouble. If there were an infinity, there could not be an infinity. I'm misunderstood, I think.
So funny.
Hello, and welcome back to Cool Dads. To kick off our second episode, we have yet another cool dad. If you would introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Clemens. I'm the Senior Associate Dean of Natural Sciences and of Research and Innovation here at the University of North Carolina.
What would you say, just to kick us off, qualifies you as a cool dad?
I don't think I do qualify. I was surprised when you said, this is going to end the show. I'm the least cool dad. Here's the coolest thing that I do. In my research work, I measure the composition of crushed up exoplanets that fall onto white dwarf stars and decide whether they're made of the same thing as the Earth or not. And the answer is they are. They're made of the same thing.
That is cool.
Yeah, so that's
that is.
there. So there.
You've qualified. You've done it.
I needed to cross the cool bar, and
right,
that's
and you've
the
passed. Continuing just with the academics, what is your favorite academic subject?
Oh, my favorite academic subject. Well, I would say astronomy because that's what I do, but if I'm taking classes, I wouldn't take those since I know most of it. So if I were going to do something right now, I actually toy with the idea. I would take history. I would go get a PhD in history. If I had time and, just could do whatever I wanted, I would be over in the history department getting a PhD.
Gus and the rest of his siblings have a real thing for your Vicini? Is that how I'm pronouncing it? That impression?
I think that's his name, Vincini.
Would you mind demonstrating for our audience?
Be happy to. Clearly the poison cannot be in the cup in front of you. I'm just getting started. I've always thought when you watch figures in movies, there's always one you kind of admire and you hope you look a little bit like and want to be like. And when I was younger, one time somebody mistook me in Almost Dark for Bruce Willis, and I thought, that's awesome. That's who that's who I want to be. But then as you get older and you actually look at yourself, you say, who am I really? I'm afraid it's Vincini.
You might like this comparison a little better. Gus has often compared you to Indiana Jones, too.
Yeah,
Do you feel like that's accurate? Yeah?
If you remember at the end of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, one of the last things that happened, right before he's married, the dean walks by and there's a guy painting a door, and it says Henry H. Jones, Jr., Associate Dean. So when I got the job of Associate Dean here, I thought, I've arrived now, I have the same exact job as Indiana Jones. And so I wear a hat like that around campus, and people don't notice that it's an Indiana Jones hat, I hope.
Who would you say is your best friend?
My best friend is my wife, Georgie.
And what is your favorite thing about Georgie?
Oh, her eyes, her hair, and when she listens to me and is patient. Because it's hard. Everyone
in your family, it seems, likes to make fun of you because you somehow have a way of sounding sarcastic when you compliment them. Would you like to address that?
No, I'm not. This is just horrible, isn't it? So when I'm going to compliment someone, I think about what I really feel. I go inside and I think, what's the nicest thing that I think about this person right now? And then when I come up with it, I think this is going to be the most sincere compliment because I didn't just say, because people so often just say, oh, you look nice today.
Right.
They don't mean it. They just need to say something. And they say it. Well, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't just go and for small talk say, oh, you look nice today. If I notice you look nice today, I'll say, what? You look nice today. Somehow, because I go through that
whole process,
sincerity thing and try to be really earnest,
it's
that earnest thing that comes off as he doesn't mean it. He doesn't, but I do mean it.
So you have 5 kids.
I do.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh, I don't have a favorite.
No?
No, I don't have a favorite.
Are you sure?
I have something that's favorite about each one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's one is a girl and four
Yes.
boys. So my favorite girl is Rebecca.
Is Becca, yeah.
And the boys would say she's my favorite.
That is what I've heard, actually.
They would say that. But that's because your relationship with a daughter is different from a relationship
Right.
with sons, right? Sons need different things. Daughters need different things, and they see that difference as preference, but it's not really preference. And then I can go through the guys, but there's Nick and Jack and Gus and Henry. And if you ask them if there were no Becca, they would say Jack was my favorite because I would just hand him money for no reason. But I was teaching them a lesson about justice, or really injustice, right?
Gus likes to tell me that.
It doesn't hurt, it did not hurt anybody for me to hand $5 to Jack. Somehow they were all wounded. And I'm like, you have exactly the dollars you had before. I gave the $5 to Jack. And I gave it to Jack, but then he came to me one time and he said, Dad, please don't give me any more money in front of them. So I don't know if they were hitting him up for it later. So he was my favorite one to give money to.
So I think we have our answer.
Yeah.
So you are a scientist, but you are also Catholic and very religious.
Yes.
What would you say to people who seem to think that religion and science can't mix?
Well, I would invite them to think harder about that question. The history of science is the history of Catholic, at first, intellectual work in the universities, and then it broadens into Catholic and Protestant intellectual work, and then it broadens into Catholic secular and Protestant and even atheist intellectual work. And so we have a broader set of minds at the table now than just the ones we had, and that's a good thing.
Right.
But for one group of them who are maybe materialists about things to say, the others shouldn't be, or the others are somehow confused or mistaken. Well, no. So don't have me to dinner, because when I go to dinner, people say you should never talk religion or politics when you're socially. These are the only interesting things we can talk about. So you've ruled out the interesting topics. What are we going to talk about? The weather.
What's your favorite thing about being a dad?
Favorite thing? Gee, that's tough. I just love kids. I love my kids. Where did these people come from? Right? I mean, I hope you will experience this someday. They were not here,
And suddenly.
and then they were. And they came and they had their own thing going, and they were individuals. And at first they didn't do much. You just had to change their diapers and whatnot. And one day they're talking, and then one day they're arguing with you.
Right.
They're disagreeable, and the next day you don't even know where they're coming from. I'm like, whoa. It's like I look at my wife, Georgie, look, we did the new people. There's new people here.
There's new people.
After my best friend, who's my wife, they would be my next set of friends.